The Indian economy, which heavily relies on agriculture, is facing uncertainty due to the prediction of below normal rains in August by India Meteorological Department or IMD. Monsoon rains in August are projected to be below normal at less than 94% of the long period average or LPA, the Indian Meteorological Department said on Monday. Below normal rains in August, which account for almost 30% of the seasonal rainfall, could have an adverse impact on standing kharif crops, particularly in areas which are water stressed and where crops are at maturing stage. Economics Research Department of Bank of Baroda said that erratic rainfall across the country has resulted in lower kharif sowing this year, which is likely to translate into higher inflation in the near term. Former director of Indira Gandhi Institute of Development Research, S. Mahendra Dev, explains the impact of below normal rain in August on food inflation.
The impact will be there on food inflation because if you see the June food inflation was higher as compared to May, and July food inflation which will be announced on 12th will also be higher because the tomato prices and all. But in August the price will be also affected, food inflation, because there were excess rainfall in some areas which affected the crops, for example, Punjab, Haryana and all. And in other areas, there is a deficit. But the impact is less than what the people expected because of El Nino, because El Nino has marginal impact so far. But El Nino can have impact in August. That's what IMD says. So due to all these factors, I think food inflation could be higher in the coming months.
Speaking to Business Standard, Bhushan Sharma of CRISIL said, for field crops like moong, urad, groundnut and soybean, lower rainfall could lead to flower abortion. This may have an adverse impact on productivity of these crops.
Actually, there are already some crops which are already affected by excess rainfall in the month of July. For example, some of the pulses, mung bean, urd bean, they are already suffered very heavily. Now, there is a possibility that PGP, which is one of the very important kharif pulse, will get affected because it doesn't require much kind of water. Now, the issue will be, this is in regarding soybean, some of the oilseed crops. Again, soybean, if suppose there is a very delayed rain in the month of August, then possibility that soybean production will be little down. And therefore, there will be an impact on the inflation of oil. So oil and pulses, maybe. Cereals, there will be no problem.
The Reserve Bank of India in its June forecast had cut its projection for the Consumer Price Index in Q1 FY24 sharply to 4.6% from 5.1%, and Q2 estimates have been lowered from 5.4% to 5.2%, while the forecast for Q3 and Q4 has remained unchanged at 5.4% and 5.2% respectively. The Monetary Policy Committee meeting, scheduled from August 8 to 10, will evaluate the potential repercussions of insufficient rainfall on crop yields and food prices. Sunil Sinha from India Ratings and Research anticipates that the RBI MPC may maintain a pause on rate hikes amid present inflationary conditions.
Looking at the current trajectory of inflation, whereby we see that the items which command 44% weight in the CPI, they are still witnessing an inflation of in excess of 6%. So irrespective of what happens to the monsoon in the month of August, my hunch is that overall inflation, even if the rainfall turns out to be normal in the month of August, is not going to make much of a difference to the inflation, to the CPI inflation. So if CPI inflation in the near term is unlikely to come anywhere closer to 4%, then my sense is that RBI will continue with its current stance of maintaining a pause on the policy rate. And this could be the case for the entire fiscal, is what I see.
The prediction of below normal rainfall in August has raised concerns regarding food inflation and its potential impact on the country's economy. Water-intensive crops like rice may particularly face adverse effect on their yields, resulting in elevated food prices and inflationary pressure. The RBI MPC is expected to conduct a meticulous assessment of inflationary risks before taking any decision.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
He's making plans for an early retirement. Business Standard.